Let's remove the titles for a moment. And what I have in mind is this: take away the job title, take away the role of mother, take away wife, partner, daughter, friend, professional, leader, helper, the strong one, the capable one, the one everyone calls when something needs to be handled. Take away the degrees, the achievements, the things you have built, the things people praise you for, the way people describe you when they introduce you. And now ask yourself quietly, who is left? And maybe that question feels peaceful, but maybe it feels uncomfortable. Maybe it creates a strange silence inside. Maybe part of you wants to answer with another role, another achievement, another thing you do, another way you are useful. And if that's true, I have a news for you. You're not empty without your roles. You may simply have forgotten how to recognize yourself without them. And today I'm talking about the woman beneath the titles, the woman beneath the doing, the woman beneath being needed, the woman beneath achievement. And I want you to help begin remembering the parts of yourself that no role, no divorce, no career shift, no child growing up, no external change can take away. And if this speaks to you, comment remember below and I'll send you today's reflection question to help you reconnect with who you are beneath the roles. And please type live if you're watching this live or replay if you're watching this later. And put yes in the comments if you have ever wondered, who am I when I'm not needed in the same way anymore? You see, there is a quiet crisis many high achieving women do not talk about. It does not always look dramatic from the outside. It can happen after divorce, after children grow up, after a career shift, after leaving a job that gave you status, after relationship change, after burnout, after a season where the old version of your life no longer fits, but the new one has not fully formed yet. And suddenly, the roles that used to tell you who you were do not hold you in the same way. You're still here, but something feels uncertain. And so you may ask, if I'm not needed like that anymore, who am I? If I'm not successful in the same way, am I still valuable? If I'm not someone's wife, partner, mother, leader, or problem solver in the same way, what is my place? If I'm not constantly doing, producing, helping, carrying, or achieving, what makes me proud of myself? And this is where many women feel lost. Not because they lack purpose, but because their identity has been built around external reflection, around what they do, what they achieve, who needs them, who approves of them, who praise them, who validates them. And when one of those mirrors changes, they think the self has disappeared. But the mirror changed, but you did not disappear. Imagine living in a beautiful house made of mirrors. Every wall reflects something back to you: a mother, a professional, a partner, a leader, achiever, helper, reliable one, strong one, successful one, needed one. And because the reflections are everywhere, you start believing they are you. You think, this is who I am. I'm the reflection. I am what I do. I'm what people need from me. I'm what people admire. I'm what I can prove. But then the mirror cracks. A role changes, a relationships end, a child needs you differently, a career identity shifts, a title disappears, a season closes. And suddenly the reflection is not there in the same way. And instead of saying, the mirror has changed, we say, I'm lost. I'm empty. I don't know who I am. But what if the real invitation is not to find a new mirror? What if the invitation is to step outside the house of mirrors and meet the woman who was looking into them all along? Because your roles are beautiful, they matter, they give you love, or they give your love a direction. But they were never meant to be the source of your worth. They were meant to be expressionist of it. I saw this so clearly in a conversation with my friend recently. She had gone through a major life change. And underneath everything she was saying, I could feel this deep lostness. It was not just sadness, lostness, and the quiet question, who am I now? So I asked her, what are you proud of in your life? And she smiled and said, my PhD. And I understood that a PhD is a huge achievement. It takes work, discipline, intelligence, commitment, persistence, and of course it matters. But I asked her again gently, okay, that's wonderful. And I know it is big and important, but what about the internal things? What are you proud of about your character, your essence, who you are? And she paused. And then she said slowly, I don't know. And that moment stayed with me because so many women can list accomplishments, degrees, titles, projects, children, homes, responsibilities, careers, things they survive, things they build. But when you ask, what qualities are you proud of? What makes you a beautiful human being? What is steady in you when the roles shift? They go quiet. And it's not because there is nothing there, but because nobody taught them to look there. Nobody taught them to build pride from the inside. Nobody taught them to recognize their own inner gold. And put gold in the comments if you can list what you have done more easily than who you are. And that is something that I call a performance trap. The belief that you are allowed to feel proud only when you have proof, only when something outside you confirms it, like a title, degree, clean home, a peaceful child, a happy relationship, a good body, a promotion, a full calendar, a result, a compliment, a visible achievement. And the trap is this: you are never truly proud. You are only temporarily relieved that you did enough, relieved that people approve, relieved that you still look successful, relieved that the role still fits, relieved that you have not been exposed as not enough. But relief is not the same as a self-worth. Relief says, I'm safe for now. But self-worth says, I'm still here even when the proof changes. Relief depends on the outside, self worth lives inside. And this is why external validation can never fully satisfy the ache. Because even when you get a title, the praise, the recognition, the next role, the next milestone, the mind quickly asks, but what now? What if I lose it? What if I'm not needed? What if someone does it better? What if it's still not enough? And then you're chasing again. Not because you are ungrateful, but because you're trying to get permanent identity from temporary things. And the feeling of being lost often does not come from life itself, It comes from a thought. A role changes and a thought says, I do not know who I am. A child grows up and a thought says, I'm no longer needed. A relationship ends and thought says, I'm less valuable now. A career changes and thought says, I have lost my place. A title disappears and a thought says, I have disappeared. And because thought is so powerful, the body feels it as real, the emptiness, the fear, the fog, the uncertainty. But then consciousness allows you to see. This is just a thought moving through me. This is a story about my worth. This is not the truth of who I am. The awareness that notices the story has not disappear. The part of you that sees the fog is not the fog. The part of you that notice the loss is not the lost. The part of you that can ask who I am beneath that is already deeper than the role. And that is what I love, why I love the image of the sky. Clouds come, roles change, season shifts, thoughts move through, but the sky is still there. You are not the passing cloud. You are the awareness, the sky that holds it. You are not the title. You're the being who brings life to the title. You are not the role. You are the woman who animated the role with your love, your courage, your patience, your intelligence, your presence, your care. And the label did not create your worth. Your word gave meaning to the label. So let's reverse the question. So instead of asking, who am I without my roles, ask, what qualities did I bring to every role I have held? Because this is where you start remembering. If you were a devoted mother, what quality made that possible? Was it love, patience, courage, devotion, creativity, resilience? If you built a career, what quality made that possible? Was it discipline, intelligence, focus, integrity, persistence, leadership? Or if you survived hard seasons, what quality carried you? Was it strength, faith, adaptability, humor, hope, tenderness? Or if people come to you for support, what quality do they sense? Is it presence, wisdom, warmth, calm, honesty, capacity? Do you see? The role is not the source. You are the source. The role is where the quality expressed itself. So when the role changes, the quality does not disappear. It can take a new shape. And this is the freedom, You don't need to rebuild yourself from nothing. You need to recognize what has been there all along. And common source if you're ready to stop treating the role as the source and start recognizing the woman underneath it. And the practice for today is this, and it's called what no one can take. Because some things can change. Titles can change, relationship status can change, your children's needs can change, careers can change, external recognition can change, the body changes, seasons changes. But not everything is taken by change. So take a page and write the question. What am I proud of that no one can take away? And I want you to answer without using titles, roles, or achievements. Not I'm proud of my job or I'm proud of my degree, I'm proud of my family, I'm proud of what I built. Those matters, but not for this exercise. Today we go underneath. I'm proud that I'm resilient. I'm proud that I care deeply. I'm proud that I listen. I'm proud that I keep learning. I'm proud that I have begun again many times. I'm proud that I can apologize. I'm proud that I'm honest. I'm proud that I feel deeply. I'm proud that I still have hope. I'm proud that I showed up. I'm proud that I want to grow. I'm proud that I can love. And that is the first part. And then the next part is to ask yourself, where did this quality show up this week? Not in theory, just in practice this week. Because maybe you showed courage in conversation, or patience with your child, honesty by admitting something, or you showed self respect by resting, or you showed resilience by trying again. Maybe you showed kindness when it would have been easier to close. And this is how you begin building identity from the inside. You stop waiting for the world to reflect your word back to you. You start recognizing what has always been alive in you. So let's do a small version of this right now. Think of one quality in you that has carried you through life, not a role, a quality. Courage, kindness, intelligence, humor, integrity, compassion, strength, your loyalty, resilience. And ask yourself, where did this quality show up recently? Maybe nobody noticed. Maybe nobody praised you. Maybe it was quiet, it was ordinary, but you feel it. And I want you to let yourself know. Just for one breath, let yourself feel proud of something inside you, not because it impressed anyone, but because it's real and you felt it. And if you are in a season where a role is changing or you're beginning to wonder who you are beyond what you do for others, this is not something to dismiss. This is a sacred threshold. But it can also feel disorienting if you try to walk it alone. Inside Coming Home to Yourself coaching, we work with this exact kind of transition. The woman after the role shifts, the woman after the achievement no longer satisfies, the woman after the relationship changes, the woman after years of being needed, useful, productive, impressive, or strong. We work with the deeper identity underneath the performance. We rebuild self trust. We reconnect with your inner voice. We help you stop outsourcing your worth to titles, roles, approval, or productivity. And we help you remember the woman who is still there when everything external becomes quiet. Not by adding another label, but by coming home to yourself. And if this is the work you know you need, message me, remember, and we can begin the conversation. And before we close, I want to leave you with this. Your roles are beautiful: mother, partner, leadership, professional, friend, helper, builder, creator. They are not wrong. They are not meaningless. They are chapters, but they are not the whole book. And when a chapter changes, you do not vanish. You're invited to meet yourself again, maybe more honestly than before, because you were never meant to be only a collection of titles. You were meant to be the living, breathing woman who brings presence, love, courage, intelligence, tenderness, and truth into those titles. And if you want today's What No One Can Take reflection, comment remember below or send me remember in DMs and I'll send it to you. And if you are in transition of or realizing that your worth has been tied to roles, productivity, achievement, approval, or being needed, this is exactly the work we do inside the Coming Home to Yourself coaching. So message me, remember, and let's begin the conversation. And for today, just remember this. You do not need to build a new identity from scratch. You need to remember the woman who was there before the whole world named her. Thank you for being here today and come home to yourself.